We are live. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. Is it over? Yes. People are just too bearish. Way too bearish. Way too bearish. And even if they decide to take it down again, they're going to meet buyers below 80 in Bitcoin. I think XRP is okay, right, as an alternative form of money. And we'll go over both the good news about, I think, this government shutdown, which is going to wake people up. I also think the administration is going to have to wake up and get itself back to Bitcoin. Michael Saylor is already pushing them in that direction. So we're going to go through GOP stuff, right? We're going to go through Bitcoin. We're going to go through some futuristic thought leadership, which ironically I found on LinkedIn. And I even found a 2017 parallel where some guy put money supply together, which is very interesting, right? Because I don't know how else we finance $9 trillion in government debt. I think that's worldwide. That has to be refinanced. Also, some of this thought leadership is good for, I don't know, kind of my favorite trade, which is Bitcoin, XRP, and antivirus. Antivirus being called an app rather than a layer one. We'll go into that. So kind of an interesting show. A lot of good stuff about the orange man is taking it on the chin a little bit. Deservedly so, right? So we'll just take a look at it. Horace, Cepedas, Miguel, what's up? Taz, Pinball, Warmon, Alexandra coming in. Bizon is here after a break. Not a bad idea. Can't stop the Cap TV. Picked up more antivirus this morning. I mean, dude, I'm not giving you investment advice. I'm doing the same thing. Like, if you can't buy a 4 million market cap privacy coin, Talking McAfee is online with one of the best pep talks for crypto I've ever seen. I don't know, man. Zav, Tyler, right? SGSG, the original. Kane, I believe the other original. eCrypt, Uchilla, Roby, what's up? Right? The Taquito 97, Taz Pinball. Portugal is here. Welcome, sir, from Europe. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Wow, look at this. Hedge fund CIO, the American empire as we know it is done, over and complete. Okay, bro. Okay. If we can get ourselves wormed into Bitcoin and crypto and Web3, this will maybe not be true. We have a debt problem. Public service announcement. All right. Hedge funds love blowups. They want to get short and watch everything disappear because markets take the stairs up and the elevator down. So it's like everything's going to blow up. A loaf of bread's going to $12. And I'm like, okay, now that's the way it was in the past. Bad things can always happen, but the world is different than it was in 2008 on purpose because of Satoshi or whoever invented Bitcoin. Because now you have an opportunity to have the big blow up be the big moonshot in things like Bitcoin and related cryptocurrencies, right? Cryptocurrencies, apps, DeFi. I don't know how they're going to finance $9 trillion in debt without stable coins, buying up the debt, and possibly tokenized treasuries. So, this whole thing that it's all over assumes we can't innovate our way out of part of it. Also, it reflects the fact that people are all bearish in equities. Oh, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. It went down 10% after up only for 3 years or 2 years. Jeez, come on, right? So I get it. There are problems. I get it. But I just don't want to buy into this because all these hedge funds and Ray Dalio and these guys who are like way out on a limb with huge books about massive negative events, they're not seeing that the system can vent the problems through Bitcoin and crypto, period. Okay, so, Elon is trying to keep himself relevant. this guy makes a good point about how governments spend money. We tax the money. It goes to a governmental organizations, which gives the money to, people who may not be nice. And everybody draws a big salary. And then the political parties all defend this process. Now the same the same group is probably going to cause a sovereign shutdown coming up because they're going to protest whatever Elon is doing. Now, in my opinion, Elon's acting a little bit too cavalier and a little bit too arrogant, right? But you know what I'm saying? It's all another interest. It's all another example of sovereigns behaving badly. This is the left. And then the right has its own version of sovereigns behaving badly, which again, makes the argument for crypto, makes the argument for Bitcoin, makes the argument for XRP, makes the argument even for Ethereum, right? Even for Ethereum, right? So, breaking news, Coinbase CEO says more global governments signing up for the Bitcoin reserve is nation state adoption. All of these sovereigns need to make money. That is another little twist that everybody is forgetting, right? All right. So Uncle Sugar going to drop the lawsuit against XRP again. Getting stablecoin legislation to me seems like a given because they're not going to be able to absorb the market won't be able to absorb the Treasury's new issuance without major stablecoin buyers. So that's that. And the SEC is just getting out of the way. They just did there and enforced fraud. They would do just fine. They don't need to sue anybody. XRP receives approval from Dubai Financial Services to provide crypto payments and services. Again, XRP is a fast cross-border payment solution. So if they can move value using XRP has a use case. And if you don't have a use case, it's not going up. You don't have a use case, it's not going to follow Bitcoin. If it does have a use case, then it could follow Bitcoin, which is why I'm into Bitcoin, XRP, and antivirus, and a little splash of Ethereum, just because it's just so cheap, right? Okay, so this is Thomas. I don't know if I can say the guy's name or not, but he's not into this continuing resolution, okay? Congress just locked in a portion of, what we were doing before. So, the orange man was like, hey, just pass it. Just pass it, which I don't know. I guess they did. Just pass it, and we'll talk about it later. But, Elon cuts, Congress spends, same thing. Bitcoin, 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 crypto, 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 right? Everyone is selling, everyone bearish, everyone liquidated. And the whole reason why you want to do this is right in front of your face. Right in front of your face. And this guy is going to have to buy Bitcoin, right? Because I don't know, he's going to have to make somebody happy, because right now he's on the path to making nobody happy, to be honest, right? Doing crypto was super popular, and if they have the strategic Bitcoin reserve, he could be at Bitcoin Vegas in May, because if he's not popular, he's going to go get popular by announcing stuff along with Michael Saylor, because Elon's clearly set up as bad cop. So who's going to be good cop? Michael Saylor. We'll talk about it. Okay, Orange Man says, I think the markets are going to soar. Now, you may want to fade this. You may. But I got a LinkedIn article from somebody who makes a really great point that we did all this in 2017. We had a freak out, right? Everyone's like, oh my God, the tariffs. Oh my God, the trade war. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then Bitcoin, once it was over, went straight up. Straight up. Now, that was fueled by money supply. But again, that's really interesting, because M2 is going that way, and they're going to have to put high-powered money in the system, or they can't refinance the debt. That's it, period. So we'll go over that later. The orange man, I don't know if he's going to be right about stocks, but this is not a stupid statement, because he's seen this before. He has. He's seen it before. Now, Michael Saylor pressing this issue, the strategic Bitcoin reserve, digital supremacy. I discussed why it's critical for our nation's prosperity. So Mike's got a whole new PowerPoint presentation, right? Good for him. It's Mike's usual stuff, right? It's like, oh God, it's like, we'll make $100 trillion. Love you, Mike. Love you, baby. It's like, he's He's just all about, the shock and awe, because now he's pumping his bag and he's probably trying to help the country. To be honest with you, I mean, Elon wants, again, Bitcoin is the positive solution, right? Here's Elon with his chainsaw and all this crazy banana pants stuff. Like, $100 billion is going to matter when you're spending $1 trillion every 6 months. Stupid, right? This guy is like, hey, let's make money. Metaplanet acquires 162 Bitcoin at 83K. You got a lot of buyers at 80. 80 is the new 20. I'm sticking with that. Sticking with it, right? Also matches up with the Grok, with the Grok roadmap, right? I mean, we talked about Grok, put some GAN points in. We said, hey, assume this is going to get better by May. What's the weekly roadmap? It's pretty good looking stuff. It's not bad. So it's on track so far. Okay, so this is worth repeating. Okay. OwnB is the ETF. I think this is the smartest thing I've ever seen since the Bitcoin ETF was invented, right? So the allocation to MicroStrategy is a little bit too big, but you get all the miners, Metaplanet, Galaxy Digital, you get everybody. You don't have to figure this out. You don't. Which miner should I do? No, just own crypto equities. Right. It's a little weird that Coinbase is not in there, but again, if your crypto portfolio, I mean, obviously we're assuming you're all in crypto, but if your crypto portfolio is spot crypto, Bitcoin ETF, crypto equities, and then throw Coinbase's stock in there, you can just, I mean, I don't want to say the word set it and forget it, but Bitcoin XRP, antivirus, Bitcoin ETF, and this. Set it and leave it and see what happens and make them come stop you out. Not investment advice. That's what I'm going to do. Because now I don't have to figure out the crypto equities. I just buy the ETF. Okay, there's Mike's PowerPoint again. $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin shorts face liquidation if it reclaims 90. Well, of course it does, right? Because that's what they do at the casino. They just liquidate everybody. That's right. More Bitcoin news breaking from the Eagle King. The Bitcoin Act, U.S. pushes for 1 million Bitcoin reserve without taxpayer costs. Look, they can issue debt. They can do what Michael Saylor's doing. Don't give me this. Oh, we can't spend taxpayer money. What are we spending taxpayer money on now? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, or they can sell gold and silver as it rallies, because gold and silver are going to rally. They are. They may not rally today, but they're going to rally. Rally. Maybe not this second, but it's going to happen, period. And then they're going to liquidate all these shorts. And the next thing you know, it's going to be at 96K. Again, we'll go over the Grok roadmap. Strategies Treasury ranks 14th among S&P 500 companies. Okay. So this is measuring cash and cash equivalents, and Strategy owns the most Bitcoin. And basically, they think they can grow their treasury with Bitcoin where everyone else is sitting in the dollar. It's not ridiculous. It's not. Saylor's valuation predicts $13 million in 20 years. Okay. So just as a reminder, if you bought NVIDIA in 2014, that turned out to be 1,000x. As 1,000x over 10 years in NVIDIA. Is this ridiculous? No. I don't know. You got to be careful of no price is too high. At least he has a price target. I would settle for starting with a path to 120 and then 200 at Christmas. That's what I would settle for. Right. And that rally may be late, sort of like 2017. Now, what you have to deal with in the middle, I don't know. We're going to discuss some of that. Right. So you got to make your money. This is my opinion. If you got to make your money now. You buy this thing when everyone's bearish and everyone's set and everyone's just being, frankly, stupid to get negative at these levels. You're a late stage bear. No one likes late stage bears. You either get bearish at 105 and short it and let it go down. And if you're bearish, you just stop when it gets lower and you wait to see if it breaks down. And I guess if it attacks Michael Saylor's average price at 66K, well, okay, it can be bearish. Okay, so the Lazarus Group has moved 400 ETH around. They're using Tornado Cash now. So thank God no one is using the antivirus Solana mixer, right? Which, by the way, does burn antivirus. Like Tornado Cash doesn't have a burn mechanism associated with, using that system, right? But I'm glad they're not using antivirus Solana mixer for this. I'm glad. All right. So this is Thomas. He's not into government spending. He's not. And some people made a lot of noise about it. And guess what? They made him a hero. And guess what? This guy is the only congressman not taking money from a certain group in the Middle East. It's very interesting. So they just turned this guy into a hero because this guy's whole way of thinking was considered right-wing fringe in the United States. So, they got a little pushback from the left. They got a little bit of pushback from the right. And they're sitting there in the middle. And if they don't embrace Bitcoin, they're going to be unpopular. I'm telling you. Now, did that take the path I thought it was going to take at the beginning of the year? No. But they're getting pressured from both sides now. They definitely screwed up with the tweet about this guy. People have donated like $150,000, which is a lot, considering this guy is just a regular House of Representatives guy from Kentucky, which is a very small U.S. state that, I don't know, they do coal and the Kentucky Derby horse race, and that's kind of it. It's a beautiful place, right? But it's not Texas or California, right? Okay, so this guy is now popular, right? And this guy forced people to care, and he woke people up, right? It's called the red pill. Everyone's going to get red pilled about how sovereigns work. Do sovereigns have your interest at heart? And you got to stop waiting for sovereigns to moon your bags and say, I'm going to be an independent person. I'm going to go out and protect myself from whatever is going to happen. Right now, is that popular? No. Is everybody still wound up in the government didn't move my bags? Yes. When people wake up, is this market going to go up a lot? Yes. Okay. So this guy, I don't even know if I can show his face. I probably shouldn't. So this guy, Nick, is very far on the right. Very. Okay. Now, one of the things that he's been saying is, the administration is, all the campaign money came from somewhere overseas, at least. That group has got a lot of control and a lot of power. Orange Man had to cozy up to them to get all these court cases and all this stuff dropped and get himself reelected. Art of the deal. And this kid has been saying for a very long time that the end game of all this, like where this Middle Eastern country has all this power and donates all this money to all of our leaders, that their end game is to start a geopolitical conflict with another country in the Middle East. And that could be the end game because they kind of tried to do this in 2017. So all this stuff about stopping conflict could be an excuse to start conflict somewhere else. And nobody's talking about that. Now, I don't want to talk about that much now either, but I do want to talk about in crypto, you got to get your act together and try to make money between now and May, because who knows if this stupid thing can actually happen. Who knows if they would be that dumb. Now, this kid is saying, yeah, they are that dumb. They are that dumb because they're acting, they haven't kept any of their campaign promises. The only thing that they're doing is doing things that are favorable to this one country overseas. And if they do something like get us into a geopolitical conflict, that creates a mess in the second half of the year. I don't know that they're that stupid, but I think you got to make your money now. Right. I also think you got to get involved in stuff that can weather any type of storm. In other words, I'm over this and people are going to get sick of it. Like you got debt, you got, these guys not exactly keeping their promises. I mean, you may like them. They may be entertaining, right? I think they're entertaining, but it's still sovereigns. I talked about this in the beginning, right? Sovereign is a sovereign. They're all going to act the same way. They're all bought and paid for by somebody. They didn't moon our bags. They don't have to. They don't have to. We can moon our own bags by going, hey, you know what? I don't want any more of this. I'm done. I'm done. right? It's not absurd. Okay, look at this, right? You know, this was a long time ago. Oh, let me not show that. Okay, so the bottom line is there are a lot of people who are not in favor of some of the special interests that are out there. Ron Paul's one of them. Okay, that's the end the Fed guy. Again, these guys all got super popular when it was going along with Elon. Now that they got stuff to say about, how we, what the budget looks like and what the geopolitics look like, all of a sudden, we don't like them anymore. We like them, right? Because they're going to get loud because they got a platform earlier in the year. And if we start doing stuff that's stupid, we're going to start pivoting. We're going to start pivoting and say, you know what? I don't want this sovereign BS. And Michael Saylor is going to keep saying, hey, if you're going to act stupid, do the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Michael Saylor's argument is going to get more powerful and more powerful and more powerful if they continue to act stupid. If they're stupid, Michael Saylor's argument will get better. Okay. And I continue to believe that there is a lot of weird stuff going on out there. This is going on in my backyard. Okay. You got a reporter for a news organization that's a little controversial. Okay. But he's no longer with us. And this guy was not on the nice list with people in Eastern Europe. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on. And I'm just looking at this and I'm going, I want to do Bitcoin. And look at this. You know how I'm always talking about how wonderful Texas is? Watch this. So Texas Republicans who tried to get rid of this like really tough guy attorney general was really, he's like, hey, we got to be tough. We got to be Texas. We can't take anything from anybody. They tried to get rid of this guy, right? And now they're not only they may be trying to get rid of this guy, but according to this, they're trying to stop speech. This is people in the Texas Congress, right? Each state has a governor like a president and a Congress like a parliament. They're after this guy again. Oh, this can happen in Texas, man. It can happen anywhere. Antivirus, privacy, right? This is happening in Texas. Now, of course, no one's going to trade that today, right? It doesn't matter until it does. So the guy that founded Twitter got his account shut off by Elon's group yesterday. Like, don't be fooled by this whole thing with like electric cars in front of the big white dwelling. Hey, don't fall for that stuff, man. If they want you shut off, you will get shut off. Shut off antivirus. Now, I don't know if that was a mistake or that was a message. Hey, they've sent messages before. Say the wrong thing and you're done. Now, this is a pro-Bitcoin guy, so I don't get it. Okay, he was never a good guy with what he did with Twitter when it was Twitter, but still, you invented the platform and your account shut off? Come on. Okay, so $23 million in Solana has been unstaked. I don't know if they have to sell this at the market. I don't know. I don't know what this means, but I would rather own Bitcoin, money, and apps, and I'll show you why down in a minute when we look. Okay, El Salvador just bid. El Salvador on the bid. You guys want to sell it to us at 80, and it's going to 120, and then it's going to 200. Even if it trades in a range between 80 and 120 before it goes to 200, I don't care. They're just going to buy the dip. And, you had 6 months to get it at 20 before. You had a lot of volatility between 16 and 20. It was really scary, and then it was gone. And I'm just, every day there's a reason to just get involved in this and stay involved. If you can get the right coins. And I don't think getting the right coins is that hard. You buy money and apps. Strike while the iron is hot. Strike while the iron is hot. Okay. In other words, get involved. Pension funds. What do you think people are stupid? Do you think these guys in suits in these skyscrapers, do you think they're not looking at the dollar? They're not looking at stocks. They're not looking at this and go, hey, if this guy's issuing paper connected to Bitcoin, even if it's expensive, who cares? Just buy some. They allocate 0.5% to this guy in Bitcoin or this OwnB ETF. I mean, that's not going to have the volume originally, but the only thing that has the volume is MicroStrategy or any of his paper that he issues. So I don't understand why everybody is waiting for Michael Saylor to have some kind of a problem because he's over leveraged. Michael Saylor is basically saying he's not long enough. He's not long enough because they're going to have to come in and buy it. They may have to buy, this is completely crazy, but they may have to buy MicroStrategy. And the government may have to come in and just buy the company. I don't know. Or some government may have to do it. Or buy an interest in the company. What? Somebody in the Middle East just took a minority interest in Binance for $2 billion. Somebody may buy a minority interest in MicroStrategy. He may raise more money. He owns a huge chunk of the company. He could sell part of the company to somebody to get more money. New Mexico, $2 billion if the bill's passed. Texas is right behind him. Rumble video, probably can't say that on the air. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're going to get relevant very quickly, and then they're going to absorb truth, and then maybe you can say what you want, right? I personally would love to get over to Rumble, but I'm on Truth Social personally. I have 2 followers. So, we're kind of stuck on these platforms, and that's okay. These platforms haven't been bad to us, right? But these platforms are just as afraid of certain things. They're just as afraid, right? It's like everybody is okay with dissent as long as the dissent is what they want to do. When the dissent isn't what they want to do, they get upset, which is why you got to own crypto. You got to have privacy. There are all these like decentralized social media apps. Got to have them. You got to have them. You got to figure out how to invest in Web3 because they just cannot imagine some of these other characters running the whole world. I can't imagine that. Okay, Franklin Templeton files for XRP ETF. I have said this all along. XRP as an ETF to me makes more sense, just as much sense or more sense than Solana because XRP has a company behind it. It's sellable to like your average Morgan Stanley investors. Like Solana, what does it do? Well, it's really fast and it's a casino. Oh, okay. Well, what price should Solana be trading at? I don't know. And at least with Ripple could go public, right? Ripple is a company that has financial results. It just makes too much sense to me, right? This fact that XRP is centralized, I don't know. Everything is centralized these days. Everything except Bitcoin. They wanted a resignation from Vitalik like he was a CEO. So if everything is centralized, who is doing the best job at being centralized? Garlinghouse takes it on the chin all the time. Everything he does, every move he makes isn't right, but it does make sense for an ETF. Plus, they have a rabid retail following, which isn't going to sell. I don't think the retail following is going to sell. That's just me. Okay. So I think this is very interesting. Trying to get back to the post. No, that's not the post. Let's try the other post. So this is Raoul Paul, and he's saying crypto is feeling the tightening in liquidity from the stronger dollar and higher rates from last year. This is almost done, and financial conditions are easing fast, and M2 is headed back to a new high. This is just a regular correction. We had the same exact correction in 2017 caused by the same reaction to Trump policies. Higher dollar and higher rates, which then reversed. Over time, we just keep climbing the log regression channel, which I think is over here, right? We just keep climbing this. This is Bitcoin, okay? We are still early in the business cycle, okay? Crypto will rise as business cycle allegedly improves. So everyone's looking for a recession. This guy's looking for business activity to pick up, which is funny, right? Contrarian theory, just do the opposite of what everyone else is doing. That economic activity could actually improve and Bitcoin could go with it. He's got Bitcoin and economic activity somehow plotted together. It's interesting, right? And, this is Bitcoin and M2. So this is what's happening in M2 now. This line over here, this little faint line. And the black line is what M2 did in 2017. Because I don't know how they're going to finance $9 trillion in debt unless the Fed puts high-powered money in the system. Is that great for inflation? Probably not. Does anyone in crypto care? Not really. Not really. Not really. All right. So everybody is negative. And this guy is saying, hey, wait a minute. This is just like 2017. Who's talking about 2017? I am, right? My partner's the one who brought it up. It's like, hey, this is 2017. I was like, whoa. I remember 2017. That was quite the party. right? So, everybody is bearish. Why is everyone bearish? It doesn't make any sense to me why everyone would all of a sudden just get uber negative and stay that way. It's like people are dug in on this now. Now, what this person is saying, okay, I don't know. I haven't researched who she is yet, but it's real interesting. Okay, general purpose blockchains are dying. Figuring out what the next big layer one is doesn't matter. That's a little controversial, right? Web 2 giants are coming for crypto. That's true. That's true. They're not going to sit around and let crypto out crypto them. They're coming. Wall Street's coming, and so is Silicon Valley. And whatever it is they get into, you better be long it before they get into it. Not to mention the fact that I think the market automatically is just going to look at whatever they do and start running a non-Silicon Valley version of what they're doing, right? They'll come in and levitate something, and then the market will bring up a competitor automatically, which is what they're afraid of. And it's going to happen. They can't stop it. They can't stop Web 3. They can try to own Web. They can try to turn Web 2 into Web 3, but they'll be competitors among each other and separately. The market will just go, oh, wow, this is cool. Let's go. Crypto can do that. The industry cleanup continues. That's true. Okay. Business development is out. Investor relations is in, meaning, how crypto companies relate to their investors will be relevant. Okay. Liquid crypto funds are changing, are dominating, meaning trading funds like hedge funds may be better than venture capital funds because venture capitals pump and dump. So maybe the liquid hedge funds will do better. ETH Denver was dead. Are these retail events dead? I don't know. These TradFi focused summits are the way to go. It's tough to argue with that. Retail is 90%, 85, 75% bearish. Tokens must have a reason to exist. Why does your project need a token? If it can't answer that clearly, it won't survive. Well, yeah, because you can use antivirus as a cryptocurrency to buy services, right? It's a currency. It's got to be a currency. It's got to do something. I get it. All right. Crypto landscape will be unrecognizable in 5 years. It will be all about Web 2 and Web 3. Okay. Meme investing, no longer smart. Okay. And she thinks all these layer ones are going to a graveyard. Very interesting graphic. Very interesting post, but it's not totally stupid. Your token's got to do something. It's got to be money. And all the big players are coming, and you got to figure out what they're going to get long. Like, for example, they're not tokenizing 9 trillion in treasuries without Ohm and Ondo and all these real world asset platforms. They're not. And I bet that stuff's all destroyed. Destroyed, right? Destroyed. Okay, I got this from a hedge fund last night. This guy's pretty smart. Obviously, he's long Bitcoin because he's sending it to me because he thinks I'm going to put it on YouTube. And he's right. I am. So I don't know. He's got this thing that he made up. I don't know if he built it or somebody built it. He called it the Bitcoin futures. So this is at the CME, the legacy futures contract. He's got Bitcoin paying for sales. So it's like liquidation, like everyone panicking, everyone getting out of Bitcoin in the legacy world in futures. Right? Everyone liquidated, everyone out right here. Everybody out. Everybody packed it in on this. That is absolutely crazy. And oh, by the way, if you want, like my partner is really good at say, hey, take the long view. Don't dump it when everyone's bearish. Listen to me. I know I own this coin, but this speech, so they queried the chatbot. So they queried the McAfee chatbot and then fed the McAfee chatbot into something that talks and acts like McAfee. You should listen to this. I wish I could play it on the air. You will not you will not puke good crypto after listening to this. If anything, you'll reorganize your portfolio and you'll buy. Right. It's not investment advice. Okay. So let's go to the chart. I think the best chart out there is the Bitcoin ETF. So stocks crash. Bitcoin ETF holds the 200-day moving average, Lux Algo equilibrium, and it fills a gappity gap over here around 45. I mean, it can't look any better than this, to be honest with you. I mean, so it's like, okay, your bet is that they turn around and crash the Bitcoin ETF, crash stocks, crash everything. Okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get, everyone loved it when it was gapping up. It's at the same exact level. And the reasons to buy Bitcoin, they're doing a strategic reserve. They're doing something. They have to because they owe so much money. Michael Saylor is out there pushing it. So is Cynthia Loomis. So they have to do it. Sovereign Wealth Fund's going to come online in the next 6 months. They're going to have to pivot to Bitcoin because it's the only thing that makes them popular because they're taking pressure from the right and the left. And how is the Bitcoin ETF and OwnB not make sense? I think somewhere in this LinkedIn article, which I may have glazed over, okay, she basically said for most retail investors, crypto stocks could replace altcoin. Here it is. Web 2 crypto stocks will replace altcoins for many investors. Coinbase, Robinhood. Crypto exposure through equities will likely outperform speculative altcoins. Wow, that's pretty bold. Now, I think you got to own crypto equities because of the Bitcoin mining situation. I do think if Web 2 is coming to Web 3, there's going to be something that rallies a lot. But she's not wrong. She's not wrong about, the investing component of crypto and how everybody really, really seems to just ignore that. Okay. Now, just a reminder about Ethereum, because, it's dead. No one likes it. Look, this thing is sitting on its Lux Algo discount zone. It went deep into the discount zone. It's 1760. You got a Lux Algo 5-wave signal. You got a Lux Algo, reversal signal. Money flow out is clearly excessive. I don't know, man. I just don't want to sell, right? XRP got close to the 200-day moving average and immediately bounced. It's money, right? I mean, this dollar is just, I don't know if the dollar is bouncing today. So it's bouncing today, but this has been down only. Now it gets the support. Maybe it bounces. Great. Right. If you stop this dollar yen nightmare, risky assets can rally. Let it. I'm just, the worse it trades, the more interested in it I am. In some ways. Right. And then if we go over to real world assets, I don't know. Can we pick through the wreckage? Like, what do we got over here? We got Ondo. Ondo unwound the, and figuring this out is not going to be easy, right? But this is BlackRock, right? BlackRock is playing with these guys. BlackRock's got all your crypto. I know that, right? Like, I did this like really silly Twitter post outside of a place called BlackRock Coffee, right? When I went to Houston, I found everyone's crypto. I mean, and they have to get more involved because BlackRock knows that, everybody's got to get to crypto. Everybody's got to tokenize assets or, they're not going to be able to finance the debt. And BlackRock is very afraid of that kind of stuff. Ohm went straight up and retraced from 8 to 6. This is the level that Ohm should have stopped at, which was $6, and it didn't. So it just went to 8. And then it's just corrected. Probably to like a 38% retracement, something like that. Yeah, 38% retracement to the number. I don't know why everyone's selling stuff like this, right? When this stuff went up before, I mean, it just absolutely smoked to the upside. Smoked. Aave, look at this. Oh my God. Holy cow. I don't know why anybody would sell DeFi at these levels. I mean, 62% retracement, run the stops, get everyone upset, and then if money flow is coming in, like it's green. So price down, money flow in. Why is everyone selling? Maker, Maker is the same thing. They loved it, then they hated it, and then they're going to love it again. And everyone's going to be like 3 months from now, everyone's going to be like, why? Can you believe we could have bought it at 80? Can you believe some of this stuff that we could have bought? I don't know, man. I'm just sitting here looking at this and I'm like, oh, what are we doing? We're giving up on everything we believed in. And, and I hate to say this, even if it's certain memes. I mean, antivirus has a meme component to it, but, a McAfee hologram interviewing with Joe Rogan at the end of the year. It's like, I'll get along. I'll play. It's like an option on a McAfee hologram. Okay, let's go. Right. So, even if you look at this, right, like even if you look at, like, say, stocks, right? So, in QQQ, you have the 13 bottom. Maybe we talked about this yesterday. So, stocks may stabilize, or stocks may just trade like garbage at a lower range. That's fine. Right. I think the worse stocks trade, the more they figure out that they're not getting any gratification out of that, the better it is for Bitcoin. Honestly. I don't know. Let's see what we got on a 4-hour DeMark chart. See what I'm saying? It's like, here's the bottom of the range. It's defined by DeMark. It's a 4-hour chart. Run the stops, take it up, run the stops, take it up, run the stops. And if it's above 82, then, it's a range between 82 and 96. It's a range between 82 and 96. That's it. At 96, everyone bullish. At 82, everyone bearish. And that's classic range trading. That's classic. Traders love this stuff. We got all these traders in this group. Oh, they love this. Everyone bullish, sell. Everyone bearish, buy. And they just pull up a chart point, draw something. That's it. Everyone's like, falling into the jaws of the sharks. Meanwhile, it's a screaming long-term buy. Screaming, right? I mean, if you did nothing but buy Bitcoin at 80 for the rest of this year, so you can buy 80 and maybe peel some off at 120, and then it comes back to 80 and you buy it again, and then it goes to 200. Now, you may have to wait 6 months, but okay, right? I mean, how are you going to do? How's it going in meme coins? How's that working out? Right? Where are you going to be in meme coins in 6 months? You don't know. Some meme coins might do well. Some meme coins might get destroyed. I don't know. I mean, that lady's right. If it doesn't do anything, why are you in it? Why are you in it? Right? And this could be like an initial wave up in XRP right here. This could be the correction. And then you could take off and do something much bigger here. Everyone hated it. Everyone sold. Everyone out. I don't like it anymore. Ethereum is not doing anything particularly good on the 4-hour chart, but it's not terrible. And you do have a 13 bottom, and this is the blow off bottom level. So this is almost like the equivalent of the discount zone in ETH. You can tell people are buying it with these wicks, and I don't understand why everyone's giving up on this. They can do an infinite number of transactions. I know it's horrible. I know everyone's saying, well, if it goes down, you'll get destroyed in ETH. But if you hang into Bitcoin, it'll do okay. If it goes down, that's true. There's some kind of calamity in stocks, but I don't know, man. I can't see the case. I can't see the case of being uber long this, but I can't see the case and just giving up and being bearish. Because again, they're coming to Web3. We just showed you a bunch of LinkedIn articles, like all the thought leadership is like, why is everyone selling? Seller doesn't want to sell. Utility season is here, right? Web3, crypto stocks. I mean, what? People are acting like there's nothing going on. There's a lot going on. And there's a lot, if you can allocate, I mean, you don't need a lot of money to buy a Bitcoin ETF at 47. I mean, if you got stock accounts, 401ks, IRAs, regular stock accounts, you can buy these things on margin if you want to get a little leveraged. I'm not opposed to that. It's better than being in this Binance casino where you're just getting smoked. All those people at 90K, they're going to get liquidated. You know why? Because Binance makes a lot of money if they get liquidated. That's why they're going to get liquidated, right? You don't think market makers, once the selling stops, they can push this thing? Come on. Of course they can. Okay. So no one likes late stage bears. I was bullish a long time ago, and I don't see any reason to not be bullish, even though the price action like destroyed people. Obviously, in altcoins, you need to be long the right stuff, right? Figuring that out is not easy. Getting good research is, because it's available, right? Like, what are you going to buy? Web 2 is going to invest in Web 3. Wall Street's going to invest in Web 3. The government's going to invest in Web 3 and crypto. So, I mean, common sense, right? DeFi, RWA, there are undoubtedly AI plays out there, because I can't believe you're not going to have decentralized AI. I still can't believe it. I don't know. Let's, for laughs, just pull up something big like Fetch and see how wrecked it is. Right? I mean, AI is moving at warp speed. AI is already pricing in a world where AI is awake. Fetch at its discount zone at 42 cents. In December, they loved it at 216. At 216, they loved it, but they hated it at 48 cents. That's incredible. That's unbelievable. Like, who the hell is going to sell this thing down here? Unless your accountant is like, let's take the loss. That's crazy. Right? I mean, they're basically saying here, take it for a discount. No one wants it. I mean, in that case, you have to act, or in that case, you have to hodl. Well, you think Michael Saylor's getting out? He's not getting out. He's not getting out. Now, do you have to manage risk? Yes. If you did bad trades, get rid of them. That lady on LinkedIn is saying it perfectly. Like, if you did the wrong trade, or you bought the wrong meme, or you just did something, it doesn't matter. I did stuff. I bought Solana. I bought antivirus at 10 cents, right? It went to 3. I'm not getting rid of it, but I did bad trades. I had to stop out of stuff. And then I just went right back in. I was like, all right, fine. I got stopped out. Manage risk. Okay. Is it all right? Maybe. Is everyone bearish? Yes. Okay. I'm going back in. Right? It's that simple. Oh my God. Look at this. My old boss. Thank God. SEC to drop case against Ian Bellina. Thank God. This guy probably spent every dollar that he had defending himself against these characters. And now they're just going to drop the case. The SEC kind of had him on a, like he violated or he may have violated, or he allegedly violated the spirit of the law. Right? He didn't mean to, but, something happened and they nailed him. This is ultimate proof that they are so done persecuting crypto. And I'm really happy. I worked for the guy for 3 years. It wasn't exactly a pleasant exit. Who cares? I'm glad for him that that's over, because that was awful. That was awful, right? That hurt the company that he had that employed, I don't know, 25 people at the height, something like that. Like, this kind of stuff wrecks people's jobs, wrecks people's life. I mean, the legal bills on this stuff. So, you know what? The government is getting out of the way, and then they're eventually going to have to get long. They're going to get forced into the market. So it's a question of not whether or not the government's going to move my bags. The question is, how is the government going to handle $37 trillion in debt? And they got Michael Saylor just, pushing the case. Mike's got a new PowerPoint. So I don't know why anybody's negative Bitcoin. I don't know why anybody's negative the market. Everyone's looking for regulatory clarity. You're getting it. They're going to drop every single crypto lawsuit and get out of the way. If you had said to everybody, seriously, final point, if you had said to everybody 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and 5 years ago that the SEC would drop every single case about crypto, they would leave us alone and not touch us, and that everybody in Congress would be pro-crypto, where would crypto and Bitcoin be? Where would altcoin market cap be? Oh my God, they would have told you, it's in Ian Bellina's words, the moon is not the limit to the moon and beyond. And now everyone's got what they want and everyone's bearish. You know what? I'm just not doing it. If I'm wrong, okay. You can come back on YouTube and say, ha, you big dummy, you were wrong. I'm not getting bearish here. If anything, like I said, I'm going to find what I like. I'm going to do my own research. And I did. I flew somewhere. I met the team for antivirus. I met Janice McAfee. I interviewed her. I sat with these guys for 6 hours. They showed me how to get my eSIM card. They showed me. I did my own research. And you could do the same thing. Everyone's like, oh, you're too stupid. Retail's dumb. They can't figure it out. No, that's not true. You can figure it out. You can figure it out. Right? And if you can't figure it out, you can get research. And then you can figure it out. They do it all the time in stocks. Stock market dummies make money. So can you. Okay. End of speech. We'll see you tomorrow.